Good morning, Earthlings! This is your hot mess, keeping it real for you from wherever you are. One of the biggest challenges is that making plastic from scratch is much cheaper than recycling plastic that is already made. Consumers prefer virgin plastic to a reused one because it is a better quality. And this pushes the economy to create more new plastics instead of using the same money to redirect this income into recycling industry, which I think it should be the correct way to take responsibility of this hot mess. Imagine you're going to a park with your friends and you're in charge of bringing the food. You bring everything, right? Including utensils, plates, and glasses. Now, imagine you all finish eating and instead of taking your trash from the park, you leave it there because it no longer serves you.
Our job is to protect Florida's resources.
The owner of the company that shot the video and recorded the illegal act, Wavy Boats, telling ABC News they spotted the boat leaving an event called Boca Bash. They filmed this boat full of minors engaged in underage drinking and eventually dumping.
This is just another example of what I'm talking about, and this is real news from last week.
All their trash into the ocean, then allegedly rejoining the party.
That is exactly the attitude I am seeing from the oil and gas industry. They're using the plastic industry as they please, and then, after no longer serves them, forget it exists and do not take responsibility of the waste it becomes. Nowadays, a lot of people are worried about climate change and how much waste we create, especially plastics. People all over the world, including leaders from countries like Australia, Canada, Germany, along with health experts, human rights groups, environmentalists, are pushing for big changes. They want to see a lot less plastic waste. However, some big oil producers like China, Russia, Saudi Arabia are trying to influence the UN Treaty on Recycling.
The world needs ways to reduce carbon emissions,
especially for heavy industry.
We're working on solutions in our own operations,
like carbon capture and clean energy from hydrogen.
So who are we?
Believe it or not, ExxonMobil. And these solutions can help businesses like yours.
Or yours.
Or yours.
Heavy industry with low emissions. Let's deliver.
They claim they are recycling by just managing existing plastics rather than actually reducing new plastic production and improving recycling processes. They believe a better approach is to make sure we manage recyclable waste well and keep it from polluting the environment. ExxonMobil believes that we can handle the problem of plastic waste without having to use less plastic overall. These industries need plastic to survive. As you can see, they're looking for a way for us to continue giving them what they want, more plastic. The issue is that after more than 50 years, these industries are trying to take responsibility in this regard through policies, but without a real effort of labor. And this creates deep distrust in associations and defenders of human and environmental rights. Whatever happens this year will be a slow political process that will surely not come to anything concrete for years. What I mean by this is that it doesn't matter whether or not the oil and gas industry takes responsibility today because the damage has already been done. If we sit idly waiting for them to take responsibility for recycling plastic, 2030 will arrive and we will be still on the same path. Does that make any sense? That is why it's important that we as a society know where we stand and understand either with or without corporations, society decides what we will consume and what not. If we're not more interested in plastic, then that industry will die by itself. Enterprises keep polluting because they are profitable. We all are part of the problem, including me. The first step is acceptance, right? We consumers are unconscious consumers. I am sometimes that consumer, not because I want to, but because I don't know better. After researching a lot for my sci-fi trilogy, I realized many things I might have thought were okay to do because of how I was raised and the society I am around. Let's stop looking at what the person next to us is doing and focus on what we know. I know it is hard. Nobody wants to be the grown-up, responsible person, but we're not longer babies. Since we were kids in school, we have been conditioned to fill out some boxes to be part of the society. It resonates so much with me, this, because in a way, I have seen it since I'm a child. We have been brainwashed to live in this box where we have to fill out these conditions for grown-ups, where we have to not ask ourselves but ask someone bigger and more experienced than us to tell us what do we have to do. So we, in a way, invalidate our own perspectives, our own way of thinking, our own way of trying to resolve problems. We're conditioned to just obeying someone that is bossing us around for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 14 years in a row. Obviously, at some point, that's gonna impair us as a society and make us believe that we need a higher entity to tell us what to do. And this has to stop. This psychology that the education system has implied on us, the effect is now rippling in what we are doing as a society, where we are not capable of standing for our own benefit. We're not standing for what we really want to do because we're scared, because we think we are not strong enough. As electric cars and other new technologies get more popular, fewer people will need gasoline and diesel. However, oil and gas are still needed for making things like plastics, which are used everywhere, from packaging to toys. Because of this, the oil and gas companies are really interested in what happens during these big global meetings like the UN talks. These meetings could decide on rules that might reduce the production of plastics, which could mean less profit for these companies. And when oil and gas companies experience a drop in profits, the repercussions extend, oh my God, well beyond the companies themselves, impacting the cost of heating homes, for example. It could lead to job losses, especially in developing countries where economies might be heavily reliant on these industries. For many in these countries, transitioning to greener technologies such as solar panels or electric vehicles isn't financially feasible compared to continuing to use the cheaper existing technologies. The global push toward reducing dependency on fossil fuel is crucial for combating climate change, but it represents a challenge: how to manage this transition without leaving vulnerable populations behind. It's essential to find a balance that allows for environmental improvements while also considering the economic realities faced by less developed countries, ensuring that the shift towards sustainable living is inclusive and equitable. Let's just close this chapter and embrace a new reality. Let's leave this hot mess behind and keep our efforts to get to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. 3 simple steps. Get savvy with your plastic. Instead of single-use items, give them a second chance. Grab the plastic cup, plate, bag, whatever. Make it useful. Invest in a stylish water flask and fill it up instead of buying plastic bottles. Remember, every bottle you skip saves our planet from 300 years of degradation. 2, shake up your diet. We all love our red meats, but a little variety won't hurt. Come on, you need to be farewell to steak and prosciutto completely. I feel the struggle, but let's cut a bit each month. Your body and the planet will thank you. And 3, let's get planting. Imagine the impact of each of us planting 1 tree. More greenery means more carbon dioxide absorption, helping to clean up our environment and create a healthier ecosystem. Yes, it was a real struggle to cut down my prosciutto. The ones who know. Yet here I am, all in one piece. Thank you so much, oh fantastic denizens of the multiverse, for listening to Hot Mess from Earth. Stay tuned for more. Tell me in the comments what you think.